Hey y'all, hope all is well. I want to share a word with you guys. Hopefully I won't hold you too long, but a lot of times God will show me things and I have to sit on them. I have to sit on a lot of words because he build up on the thing. And he's been dealing with me about the veil specifically. The veil is a spiritual term, and I'm getting this from the I'm referring to the Prophetic dictionary. It's a spiritual term of a division, partition, or covering or whatnot. So a lot of people are familiar with the veils that a bride wear during the wedding ceremony or whatnot. So with that being said, when you have on a veil, your sight is not clear. You can't see things clearly, or as clear as you would if the veil was off or whatnot. So with that being said, it's not until you get to a certain point, because think about it, like I said, the veil is used in a ceremony, right? It's when it comes to marriage, which is a covenant, right? It's a partnership. It's a union or whatnot. So with that being said, it's not until you get to it's not until you get to a specific time. It's not until you get to a certain level. It's not until you get to a certain point that this veil is removed from the face, from the eyes, or whatnot. So the veil that he been dealing with me with, been talking to me specifically about, is sight. Okay? It's sight. It's your perception. It's how you see things. Not only how you see things, but how you interpret what you see or whatnot. So with that being said, I want to piggyback up off the last video that I had, when you settle. So in the last video I discussed how I settled and what happens when you settle or whatnot, and how you know it's your path versus God's path, because at the end of the day you will have no peace. When you pick things out of your own strength and your own will, you make your own decisions, you're going to still have a void. And it's nothing that a person can do, or regardless of who you be with, regardless of what they do, you will always feel a void. And that's because God is not in it or whatnot. You haven't allowed God to make you whole. So here you are, you broken, and it's nothing that the person will ever be able to do to make you whole. So with that being said, I was just discussing my experience and how I was more so in love with the ideal of family, and my unhealthy obsession and my unhealthy love, because love is, you have to dissect it. You really have to go into it. Love is a deep affection. It's a bond. It's a connection. It's an attachment, which we all know that attachments can be healthy or unhealthy. Love can be a drug, right? And they say love is a drug. Why? Because love can become an addiction. The love of a thing. If you overly love something, obsessively love something, then it will become an addiction. It will become an unclean thing. It becomes unpure. So that's what we have to be careful with. And we think, oh, because we love something that is good for us. No, that does not mean that. Just because I am in love with a thing that is pure. No. So like I explained, I was obsessed with the ideal of family. I wanted it. I wanted a family. And I was more so in love with the idea of the thing than I was with the person. So you have to be careful of the illusions that you chase. The things that you chase, because they might be false or they might be unclean. So we definitely, like I said, when you're looking at these type of things, you have to, really do some deep introspection or whatnot, and be sure that this is a proper love, that this is a godly love for a thing or whatnot. So just to dive in that unhealthy obsession, which, like I said, was ideally a good thing, a clean thing, but I made it, my love was so unhealthy because I was so obsessive. I was it became obsessive, right? And it became unpure. So with that being said, it goes back to the veil. It's how you see things that's going to determine your next level of blessing. Your miracle, okay, is going to determine how you're able to see what God is about to show you. And I'm saying that because, and this is scriptural, and I can prove it when it goes back to the Pharisees. See, God spent a lot of time in the synagogue, in the temples, and he did more teaching and trying to change people's perspectives than he did of miracles. Why? Because the issue was, it wasn't so much of people's belief. Because guess what? You're not believing it's a belief or something of a thing. So with that being said, what I'm trying to prove here, my point that I'm trying to get off is that your I'm sorry y'all, because I'm got distracted by a thing. But what I'm trying to say is your dang, where was I at? All that traffic just messed me up. So what I'm saying is your where was I at? Go back. It wasn't more so of the belief. It was the people's sight that was the issue. How they saw things. How they perceived things. So at the end of the day, a lot of your issues is how you're perceiving things. What you made up in your mind about a thing. That's your issue. And you have to be able to allow God to deal with that thing. To allow him to show you from his perspective. So we're going back on that thing, and I also too, that's a part of it. But we're going back on it. I shared earlier that he's gonna deal with the bloodline, right? He's gonna deal with the issues of the family. and he's about to begin to show his people the demons that are assigned to their family, the issues that they're dealing with, that they think that it's just about them, or they think that they only dealt with, that their parents dealt with, and that their grandparents dealt with, or whatnot. So I had a dream not too long ago, and it was of this male, or whatnot. Meaning, when I see a male in a dream, it can mean dominance, right? This dominant thing, something that is dominant. But anyway, I saw this male, and he was in a red pickup truck. He was in a truck. And I saw him driving. And I saw him cross over a track. And I saw that once he got over the track, he turned left. Now that I'm thinking about it, I want to say, yeah, he turned left, and he was on this two-way street or whatnot. So, with that being said, just to dissect a few things, he was in the truck. Oh my God. Y'all, I'm sorry, because I'm just really instructed. He was in his truck. So I was looking at, okay, truck, you gotta look at play on words. This it's, you know, what God is showing me. So pickup truck, right? So it's something that this male that was dominant in this male, or it's a dominant issue, is really dominant, meaning it's a stronghold or something really strong in this person, in this male that he have picked up, right? Pickup truck. He was in this red pickup truck. Let's talk about the color now. The color blood. When the color red is blood, right? I'm thinking blood. Okay, God, blood. So when I know that he's dealing with the bloodline, right? Oh man, I didn't turn down. Yeah, I'm not paying no attention. I'm turning down stuff. But anyway, because he's been talking about the bloodline, I knew that God was trying to show me that this something that's in this person that was very dominant in him was a bloodline issue. He was driven, right? Because he was driving. He was driven by this thing. It's something that's so deeply rooted in him. It was dominant in him, right? So not only that, let's talk about the tracks. I saw him I saw him cross the tracks, right? Meaning that he was at a crossroad, right? So he did cross over it, this crossroad. But the way that he went was left. He didn't go right, he went left. And guess what God was showing to me? He went left because of a bloodline driven situation that's in him, that's very dominant in him. That's what God revealed to me about it. So that's what I mean when it goes back to dealing with your sight. God has to show you the things that you need to see before you can even deal with them, right? But it's not till you get to a certain point that he can release this to you. A certain point of submission, meaning willingness to see what is it that you need to see. See, people think submission and they think that oh, it's I just you know, you being I gotta do this and I gotta do that, you know, being a slave. But no, you gotta see it from another perspective. When I say submission, I mean the willingness, okay? The willingness to be able to accept something. It's an acceptance. See how I just showed you something differently there? Because you probably was thinking, you know. So that's what I mean. Like, what is blinding you? What is causing you not to see everything clearly? The veil. So, like I said, he's talking about the veil now. And he is removing the veil. And he's about to show you some things specifically that's in your generation that you're dealing with in your bloodline or whatnot. So I'm going to do a second video to this so I can share with you guys exactly what he revealed to me about my bloodline. And so I can better help you guys so you can also kind of know. We'll just give you like an idea of how you can start to begin able to see it. Because a lot of times we see it or we kind of know, but we not sure. So I'm a do another video to kind of help give you some confirmation on some things. Because 9 out of 10, God already been dealing with you about that thing. And I probably come to shed some light to give you some confirmation about it or whatnot. But I'm not gonna make this video too much longer. I'm gonna share that on another part. So congratulations to a lot of you, because like I said, he's removing the veil, meaning that you have gotten to a certain point that he can show you some things. And when he show you some things, it's because that he want to be able to bless you, right? He want to deal with a thing. He want to heal a thing. He want to break some things up off you. And he ain't gonna show you nothing unless he don't want to deal with it, unless he ain't trying to heal that thing, okay? So the minute he show you some things and he change your perspective, he'll be able to bless you. And you'll be able to get to the miracles in your life or whatnot. Because right now, like I said, he's operating as a teacher right now. And when a student is ready, the teacher will appear. So that means you have gotten to a certain level when he started to show you things, because he needs to show you some things, because he needs you to heal from it and break out of a cycle, so you don't have to be in this continual hamster wheel, so you can move on to the next level. He's trying to graduate you. He's trying to elevate you. He's trying to promote you. And guess what? Like I said previously, how do you know that it's God? Because it will elevate you. So I'm not going to drag this out. Y'all be good.